What's up, everybody? Straw hats are cool. Back with another tabletop gameplay video. This was from our locals the other night, so this is going to be kind of the last hurrah for the pre-restricted cards. So in this video, the both players will probably be running 4 copies of Marco and Edward Newgate and Radical Beam and whatnot. I do apologize as I am using my top-down view now, and from where I was using this on the first night, the glare, as you can see on the Edward Newgate leader, makes it impossible to see what's there, so I do apologize for that. So just know that is Edward Newgate there. So Edward Newgate versus Zoro, the two decks that have been dominating, at least for the pre-restricted card list format. Zoro probably going to take over. Whitebeard going to fall off a little bit, but by no means a unplayable deck in my opinion. So we'll see how things go from here. I do just want to say at the time of this recording, I am getting quite close to 200 subscribers. So thank you all so much for the love and support you've been giving me thus far. At the rate we're going, I expect we'll probably get there in the next couple days. So really excited about that. Maybe I'll start doing some giveaways here soon. I know, 100, 200 subscribers isn't a lot, but to me it is. So huge milestones for me. So thank you all so much for that. We've got a Newgate player on the first turn here. They are going first. Zoro won the die roll and opted to go second. Starting off with an Ezo to grab that 4-cost Marco. So that will be restricted moving forward. If everything goes well, this video will be posted on Friday, July 28th, which is the day the new restrictions go live. So Zoro starting off with a Curly to Dawn, searching top 5 for a 1-cost character. Personally, I think this is one of the cards that should have gotten hit in the restricted list, as really the ability to just search a searcher is insane, especially for a deck like Zoro, who can easily attack with those smaller bodies. Whitebeard going into their 3-Dawn turn here. Going first for Whitebeard is a little rough because oftentimes they don't have a good turn to play going first. So we are going to just see them put those 3-Dawn on their Ezo, attack for 5, and then 6 with leader. Going to be passing over to the opponent now with their 4-Dawn turn. So we've got 1 Dawn for an Ezo coming down, searching top 5 for our Whitebeard Pirates type character. Looks like we're going to be grabbing a Jozu, a 2K counter. Going to be playing another Ezo coming down, again top 5 for Whitebeard Pirates. And again, as you can see, Zoro just filling up its board really quick. Did whiff that one, so not maintaining the hand size as much there. But, you get the idea of it. Crazy how much value Zoro can get out of those small cost searchers. And I do think that now, moving forward, that since the restrictions are live, we're going to see Zoro really just kind of going back to a more low to the ground variant. Might even see some more straw hat type decks. I know a lot of you probably know the Luffy TCG. He, I believe on the July 23rd PPG regional, he was playing a straw hat variant for that, and I believe he went 7-3. So I do think there's a lot of room for the straw hat variant of Zoro to come back and see a lot of success. But there are also those variants we've been seeing with the Harutas and still using the Whitebeard package. So I think there will be some variety in the Zoro decks, but I think in general they'll be a little more low to the ground. Seeing Whitebeard just play down the 5-cost Marco and pop the Curly to Dawn. 1 Dawn on our leader here, as we expect from Zoro. Going to be swinging 6. And we do see that the Newgate player is taking all these hits. This does seem to be a strategy that a lot of Newgate players have been opting to take, at least pre-ban or restricted list. Just taking every hit, building an enormous hand size, and making it very difficult for the opponent to finish out the game. So 4 life to 1 right now, but we see here the Newgate player has probably a dozen cards in their hand. Gonna be starting with an Ezo, searching top 5 for their own Whitebeard Pirates type card. So going to be grabbing, for me, I'd probably just grab like a Jozu or something. I think I saw that there. Just, yeah, filling up that hand with 2Ks now that we are going to be going to 0 life once we pass our turn. So we want to have lots of defensive cards at our disposal. Next up, looks like we've got 1, 2, maybe 6 Dawn left. So we're going to be starting with a Whitebeard Pirates. Again, searching top 5, but this time only 4 characters. Looks like the only target we have there is Ace, but Ace is not a bad card by any means. Is a rusher, so can sometimes close out the game in the end. And it has the ability to reduce the power of 2 characters, so just a really strong card, especially in decks that get the full value out of it, as your leader does need to be Whitebeard Pirates type in order to get the rush effect. I'm going to be swinging 6 with Marco and 6 with Newgate. Going to block out of 1 and count or take the second one, dropping down our 4-cost blocker Marco and passing over to the opponent. So, not the best board for the Newgate player yet, but, you know, not too bad. And like I said, they do have an enormous hand size. Still going to be very difficult for the Zoro player to get through, as they've really only got 1 body aside from their leader, which is capable of easily attacking Newgate. Being that natural 6K does make it a lot more difficult for those 2 3K bodies to connect. So a little more investment needs to be done there. I'm going to be starting with a 8K swing. Don't know if this was at the Marco or the Newgate. Looks like maybe that's going at the Marco there. So we're going to be blocking out of that one. We're going to be pitching a Whitebeard Pirates type card to keep Marco on the battlefield rested. I think going for the Marco is an interesting move there. I can kind of understand why, but at that point I would probably just swing the 7, because swinging with the Marco, or swinging at the Marco, means they can still just pitch 1 card to get out of that attack, whereas if you attack, so it doesn't really make a difference whether you attack for 6, 7, or 8, because they're still going to be able to get out of it for 1 card. So if you're wanting to get 2 cards out of hand, I'd at least try and swing for leader there, but I don't know what exactly is in the Zoro player's hand, so that's just me kind of thinking what I would do in a kind of general scenario. Going to be playing our own Marco on the Zoro's side, and then passing back over to the Newgate player. They are on their 9 Dawn turn now. Looks like, so we will see what's going to happen here. Looks like 7 Dawn, going to be probably playing that Ace we grabbed earlier, reducing the power of the 5-cost Marco, and we're not sure quite yet. Probably going to be that blocker Marco as well. Yep. And trying to work on doing some extra little edits, so let me know what you all think. I've got the reduced power on the characters, so if you like it, I'll probably stick with it. If not, I will mess around with it a little more. So we are going to see a swing at the Marco. Just going to bring it back by discarding a guard point. Now, I do like that the Whitebeard player here is going for board rather than life, even though attacking the Marco, like I said, you can always get out of it for 1 card. The Zoro player is down to 3 cards in hand now, so they're going to be getting in a tough spot, not having a lot of options moving forward, and it's going to make it a lot easier for the Newgate player to swing through those 3 remaining life. We're going to swing for 8 at the Marco again, choosing whether or not we're going to let this go, and we are actually just going to let it go this time. So must not have any events in hand. I don't know if I would have let it go there. Like, honestly, I might have even just blocked with the Marco and brought it back, because, you know, it would put our hand size down even a little lower, but we do need to maintain our board presence and continue putting pressure on the opponent, especially because they've still got a really large hand. And as it is right now, the Zoro player's not really got any valid attackers, because they're probably going to be leaving that Marco up as a blocker. A little interesting that the Marco did hit the field before going down to 2 life, so I guess you couldn't have even blocked there, so that's my bad on me. You can't use the Marco's effect unless you're at 2 life or less, so that would be the reason why they let their 5-cost Marco go on the last turn, as they would not have been able to return Marco to the battlefield with its effect. So we're going to be playing a Newgate, pumping them up to 7k until the start of their next turn, just making it a little harder for the opponent to swing at. However, with only 3 cards in hand, there's a good chance they're going to have to take those 7k attacks. So we're going to see one 7k attack with ace. And I would probably take this here. Yep, and we will see they're taking it. And this is the issue of going down to a low hand size early in the game. Going to see the Newgate player drop their own 9-cost Newgate, pumping themselves up to 8, now swinging at the Zoro. They are going to block this one and return it to the battlefield by discarding a Fire Fist. I might have honestly taken that one here, because now they do have the opportunity to attack again with the Marco, which we do see here. Whereas if they just took it, the Marco wouldn't be rested and there would be no valid targets for the Marco to attack. So that did allow the Newgate player to get an additional card out of Zoro's hand, because they did not take that one. I mean, I understand that, you know, going down to 1 life with the board that Newgate's got is rough, but in a position like that, you know, you also need to maintain your hand size, and would have just made it so there was nothing for the Marco to attack there. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Zoro player got their 10 Dawn, 1 on leader, as we expect. Going to be playing an Otama here to reduce the blocker Marco's power. So we're probably going to be seeing a big swing from Newgate to pop the Marco and hope we can get through. Definitely going to be putting 2 Dawn on the Newgate, but looks like we're trying to do some math here on exactly how hard we are going to commit to this. If I were in this position, I think before playing the Otama, I probably would have swung 6k at the rested 5-cost Marco and just see what happens from there. That way my next play isn't too telegraphed, and maybe I can get another card out of my opponent's hand that way. We'll see. So it looks like they're going to be swinging for, got 1 rested Dawn, 1 active, 1 on leader, so that must be 18k from the Newgate. Going to be returning the Marco to the battlefield by trashing the Edward Newgate, using a guard point to go up to, that is now 8, 11, so we're at 11k now. So going to need some more 2k, so we're 11, 13, 15, 17, so we're going to need 2k more. Looks like that is an Otama in hand, so 18, 19, we are going to survive that hit. Zoro player still can attack with leader, but they're not going to be able to attack that Edward Newgate now. So depending on what Zoro has left in hand, they might have been able to get the game if they had first attacked the Marco, kind of like I was suggesting, but I don't know. It looks like they've got 5-cost Marco in hand still. Can't tell what that last card is though. So it's a very close game we got here. So it definitely was a 5-cost Marco that we're pitching now. Really want to know what that last card in the Newgate player's hand is. See if it would have made a difference. on the Zoro's last turn. Like I've said, I by no means I don't think I'm the best player out there. I think I'm a good player, but definitely far from the best. So take what I say just, with a side of salt. I'm not an expert. I'm just kind of sharing my thoughts with you and my thought process on what I might try and do in a scenario like this one. So Newgate player is in a position now where they're going to have to go for game. They've only got 2 cards left in hand, so we're not going to be surviving another turn. So we are going to be starting with a 7k swing with our Marco blocker. Going to take that one. Zoro player only got 3 cards in hand as of right now and 1 Dawn open. I do believe they have a Radical Beam, but with a Radical Beam and 2 other cards, at most that's 10k encounter, so I'm not sure I see a world where they are getting out of this one. Marco is going to be swinging 9k. Good number to be swinging, knowing they might have that Radical Beam in their hand, still forces 2 cards. Debating on whether or not they are going to take this one. I think you almost have to take this one here, because if you counter out, you are stripping your hand size too low to the point where you'd only have 1 card left in hand, which means now you can start swinging for 7s and your opponent is going to have to take them. Do trigger a Whitebeard Pirates, but is unfortunately a whiff. So still only got 3 cards in hand now. Newgate still got 3 attackers and 5 Dawn up, so I expect we'll see a 9k swing from Newgate and Ace, and then a final 10k swing with the Newgate character to likely close out the game here. So we're going to see the Radical Beam plus an Otama to counter out of that attack. We've only got a blocker and 1 card in hand, so I do think there is no way for the Newgate player to lose the game at this point. Even if they swing 7, there's only 1 card in their hand, so the attack is going to go through or need to be blocked. We are just going to see them commit the 2 extra Dawn for a 9 and then a 10, and that will close out the game. So that's all I've got for today. Moving forward, I will try not to post recordings I have from before the new restrictions, or at least decks that we're using more than the restricted number of cards now. So I had a couple that I was kind of hoping to upload, so if you still want to see them, let me know down in the comments, but I'm going to try and just stick to posting post-restricted decks only. Just, I think it's a little better for everyone. That way we kind of can see what's good moving forward and how we're going to need to adapt our play styles to the new variants of the decks. So that's all I've got for today. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Like I said at the beginning, we are getting really close to 200 subscribers, and while it's not huge in the grand scheme of things, for me it's a lot farther than I was ever expecting to get, so it's a huge milestone for me. But with that, I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.